You know why I'm wearing camo today? Because we're at war. We're at war with mediocrity, complacency, inertia, and most of all, we're at war with ourselves. Also, it's one of my favorite shirts. What's going on, guys? Tom Medvedich here, and today we're talking about overcoming creative blocks. I know you probably know what inertia is, but it's defined as an object in motion stays in motion and an object at rest stays at rest. So essentially that just means if you don't do something, you're just gonna stay in the same spot. It's very easy to put things off till tomorrow and say, I'm tired and I worked really hard this week and my one free day off, I'm just gonna chill and recharge the batteries. I'm guilty of this. I might as well have a mirror in front of me because I'm pretty much talking to myself here. But I wanna try and inspire you guys because I know that this is something that I've always struggled with. I'm sure every creative struggles with it, whether you're a photographer, videographer, painter, writer, musician, anything. It's tough. It's very easy to put things off till tomorrow, but it's just one of those things where you just have to do. You just have to create. This especially became true during the beginning of quarantine when I thought, well, I'm gonna use this time wisely, catch up on projects that I've always wanted to do, maybe make some new work, etc. And the first month of quarantine, I pretty much just sat around and just chilled, which I actually don't regret because I was really tired and burnt out, so I did really need to recharge. But after a while I started to feel like a snowball of nothingness happening, and I needed to turn it the other way and get something positive going. So I had all these ideas of shoots that I wanted to do, but I needed to get props and all the prop shops were closed, and I couldn't work with a team. So I kind of made these grandiose projects and shoots in my mind which were impossible to achieve, or very difficult to achieve at least, and I basically shut myself down. So I felt like I was making excuses, and I thought, you know what, let me not even worry about doing a shoot right now. Let me just go back and edit some old stuff. So that's the first thing I wanted to talk about, is if you don't have the budget to buy props and get product to shoot, you can always go back and edit an old project that you shot. You can't tell me that you don't have one project that you shot that you didn't get around to editing, or that there's not some extra shots in there that you can tweak or whatever. There might be a portrait shoot that you did where there's some shots that you kind of wanted to revisit and say, you know what, let me try and make these black and white, or do a different edit, maybe some different cropping. There's always something. There's literally always something. And I know personally, last year I shot this AC duct. Actually, let me show you. So this is it. So it comes with this little tab like it's a loaf of bread, which I thought was kind of weird, but whatever. I know it doesn't look like much, but it expands to 8 feet when you stretch it out. You can bend it into different shapes, and when you throw it on black and use one light and maybe a reflector, you can get some really interesting images out of it. I'll show you guys the images in just a second, but I'm really into something like this because this is so cheap and it's only $10. You could probably get a cheaper piece if you get a smaller one maybe. You might even have this laying around the house. It's something that you could do with one light, whether it's a speed light or a desk lamp or a work light. You can throw in a white piece of printer paper on the other side just to fill in the shadow a little bit. It's really a great option for just getting something done. It doesn't take up a lot of space. It doesn't take a lot of equipment. It's small. You don't have to make a big set, and you can just do it on a black background, and you can experiment with different focal lengths, different crops, and that's pretty much what I did. I set up the duct in a straight line, and then I also made a curve, and I'll show you those images now. Maybe you need some inspiration. A few years back, I was inspired by a movement of people wearing safety pins here in the United States at the end of 2016 after the election, and I wanted to make an entire United States flooded kind of map with all safety pins. So what I did was I went on Amazon, I bought 10,000 safety pins because I had no idea how many I would need, and that sounded like a safe number, I guess. I projected the outline of the country onto a piece of foam core, traced it with a pencil, and then did a flat lay overhead shot with the camera and spent about probably 2 hours getting the outline of the country right and then filling it in after that. And what I did was I shot a wide shot of the entire country, and I wanted to get more than one image out of this story, so I ended up pushing in to get a tight crop so you could see a little more detail on the safety pins. And then I shot one safety pin by itself with a macro lens so you could see it in really great detail. And let's take a little peek at those images now. Another thing you can do is hone a skill or learn a new skill. A while back I got a macro rail from Cognisys, and I'll link them below if you want to check them out. They make amazing gear. I got this macro rail and I was really excited to check it out, but I was super busy with work. In between jobs I finally found some time to check it out, and I wanted to pair it with Helicon software, which is an awesome focus stacking software, and I'll link that below as well. And you can actually download a trial version, I believe, so I hope that's true. If not, I'm sorry. But yeah, they're an amazing software. It's worth every penny. I use it all the time for macro work and even non-macro work when you really need to get everything in focus. It works really well. Anyway, I got some flowers and I went in the studio, and I figured I don't really shoot flowers often, and flowers are really nice, so who doesn't want to try and shoot some flowers? So I got in there, I used the macro rail, I learned how to use it, I learned the nuances of it, and you spend a whole day messing with something, and not only did I learn a new skill, I honed an existing skill that I had, and therefore the skill set gets a little bit more developed, and it's a win-win. You get some creative juices flowing, you learn some new technical stuff, and you have something new that you can offer to clients or just mess around with and have fun with. Let's take a look at some flowers. Another way to make some great work is to team up with a friend who you're on the same page with in terms of style and things that you want to shoot, and you can get in the studio together and just make some really cool work. I teamed up with my friend Aud recently. She's an amazing prop stylist. We work together a bunch on cosmetic shoots. We usually shoot some super commercial stuff, so we really just wanted to tune out all that, the logos and everything, and just get into the artistic vibe and just shoot some really cool abstract work. So we shot some oils, we shot some bubbles, we shot shaving foam. It was just a lot of fun because you can focus on the lighting and you don't have to worry about getting all the logos perfect, and it's just less about technical perfection and more about creating a vibe and just making something that looks cool. So I'll show those photos now. So these are just some ways to snap that creative block and emerge victorious on the other side. You'll be amazed at how inspired you'll be when you see the first images and think, wow, I should have did this sooner and I can't wait to do more. And I want to use myself as an example to show you that it is possible, because during the beginning of quarantine, I didn't really want to do anything. Then I re-edited some old work, shot some new work with Aud, and was really excited about making stuff again. And I started to think about this YouTube channel and how bad I've wanted to do it for 5 or 6 years now. And I've just been in my head about how it's gotta look perfect. It has to sound perfect. Do I know what I'm doing? Is anyone gonna watch it? How am I gonna edit these videos? And excuse after excuse. And eventually I just decided I'm just gonna do this. So I have the gear I need. Let me just get into it. I made my first video. This is my second video. I'm already excited about filming. I wanna make some great tutorials. I wanna talk about photo philosophy. I wanna share my experiences with you all and hopefully inspire you to make some really cool stuff. So that being said, that about does it for this video. If you have any ways that you guys like to break through your creative roadblocks, please drop them below in the comments. I would love to hear them. It's great to have this conversation so we can get past our creative lulls and start making awesome work. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.